Jain sir,
Jahan, Shubham, how are you?
I'm good sir and today my bucket list is completed. Finally मुझे आपसे बात करने का मौका मिल गया.
Thank you. Shubham, pleasure is also mine. Yeah.
सर आज इस बकेट लिस्ट को ना मैं काफी सारे क्वेश्चन से कंप्लीट करने वाला हूँ. तो मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन ये है सर. A very warm welcome to all of you to self selection board, a one step towards uniform. मेरा नाम है शुभम वार्ष्णेय और आज आपकी मुलाकात होने वाली है मेजर जनरल वीपीएस भाकुनी सर से. बिफोर रिटायरमेंट सर ने सिलेक्शन सेंटर साउथ को हेड किया है. इसका मतलब आर्मी, नेवी और एयरफोर्स बोर्ड तीनों के वो हेड रहे हैं. और रिटायरमेंट के बाद उन्होंने काम करना छोड़ा नहीं. उन्होंने एसएसबी शॉर्ट एकेडमी खोली जिसकी मदद से हंड्रेड्स और डिफेंस एस्पिरेंट की लाइफ ऑलरेडी बदल चुकी है और उनको रिकमेंडेड कैंडिडेट बना चुके हैं. इसके साथ मेजर जनरल साहब ने एक इनिशिएटिव और लिया कि जो लोग उन तक रीच नहीं कर पाते उनका वो पर्सनल इंटरव्यू कंडक्ट करते हैं और ऑनलाइन साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट कंडक्ट करते हैं जिससे उनकी एसएसबी में मदद हो सके. अगर वो उनके पास नहीं आ सकते तो ये उनके पास पहुंच जाते हैं थ्रू ऑनलाइन सर्विस. इसका लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मिल जाएगा. तो यहाँ पर उनकी नॉलेज ही हम लेने वाले हैं. जो सर एसएसबी शॉर्ट में ज्ञान देते हैं वो आज यहाँ पर भी देंगे. वो टैट की उन मिस्टेकों को बताएंगे जो मेजरली डिफेंस एस्पिरेंट करते हैं और मेक श्योर करेंगे कि आप अब ना करें. इसके बाद एक और इंपॉर्टेंट चीज पर सर ध्यान देने वाले हैं, वो है पर्सनल इंटरव्यू. उसके बारे में सर डिटेल में बात करेंगे कि क्या गलतियां करते हैं और क्या ऐसी धारणा बना के चलते हैं पर्सनल इंटरव्यू के बारे में जो उनके सिलेक्शन को रोके रखती है. यहाँ पर फ्रेशर्स के बारे में बात करेंगे, रिपीटर्स के बारे में बात करेंगे और रिपीटर्स कैसे एक रिकमेंडेड कैंडिडेट में टर्न हो इसके बारे में और ज्यादा स्ट्रेस करके बात करेंगे. चलिए फिर मुलाकात करते हैं मेजर जनरल भाकुनी सर से. जय हिंद सर.
Jahan, Shubham, how are you?
I'm good sir and today my bucket list is completed. Finally मुझे आपसे बात करने का मौका मिल गया.
Thank you. Shubham, pleasure is also mine. Yeah.
सर आज इस बकेट लिस्ट को ना मैं काफी सारे क्वेश्चन से कंप्लीट करने वाला हूँ. तो मेरा पहला क्वेश्चन ये है सर, फ्रेशर और रिपीटर को एक बहुत बड़ा सवाल होता है कि उनमें रिपीटर के साथ पार्शियलिटी की जाती है. कहीं ना कहीं रिपीटर है तो पहले से प्री कंसीव नोशन होगा जिसे पहले एक बार चेक तो कर चुके हैं, फिर चेक करने की क्या जरूरत है. इसको पहले ही बाहर निकाल दो. जो फ्रेशर है वो नया इंसान है, उसकी साइकोलॉजी फ्रेश है, उसको देखते हैं. तो ऐसा कुछ है सर?
Frankly speaking, it is absolutely wrong. But it is natural that the repeaters will have this kind of doubt. In fact, some of them have also asked me. You know, since the repeaters come time and again, and every time the degree of difficulty becomes a little more. I will tell you, Shubham, one thing. Will you believe that the number of repeaters who get selected are virtually 50%? Half the candidate who get selected are repeaters. Then how can it be right? Simply, yes, what happens? The freshers who come, because the better lot of the freshers have already got selected. It may not be the better lot now. So if it is not so better lot, they are trying to improve upon their personalities. And they come and see this, they are not the best lot. Best lot have already been through. So it is natural that the rejections out of the repeaters will be more. See this. So just think it rationally and you will find the answer. But all those repeaters, since I have interviewed large number of repeaters, I see whether this man has really taken pains to improve himself. If I find a distinct improvement in him, he will pass. Okay?
सर यहाँ पर फिर एक और काउंटर सवाल आ जाता है. सवाल ये आ जाता है सर कि जो रिपीटर हैं उनके साथ कहीं ना कहीं एसएसबी दूसरी तरह से ली जाती है, ना कि फ्रेशर की तरह. क्या ऐसा भी कुछ है सर?
बिल्कुल ठीक है शुभम, ये बात बिल्कुल सही है. See this, a repeater is well versed with the selection system. Every time, and we have a module. Our selection is based on CIQs, comprehensive interview questions. And they are every time, if we administer the same question to the repeater also, so it will look very funny to him, plus he is quite used to it. So हर बार repeaters के लिए an experienced assessor will ask the same questions in a different manner. Either he will change the sequence or he may ask him why he was not able to make it, what are the reasons for it, his own, how does he view his own rejection of the non-selection. There will be a change. But let me tell you, Shubham, the essence of the interview process remains the same, unchanged. Okay?
सर यहाँ पर मैं आपके सवाल को थोड़ा और डिगन करता हूँ. आपके एसएसबी शॉर्ट में जब आप ऑनलाइन स्काइप इंटरव्यू लेते हैं तो आपने खुद भी अलग दो स्लॉट बनाए, एक फ्रेशर के लिए और एक रिपीटर के लिए. आप जरा थोड़ा डिग इन करते हैं सर, आपने बताया थोड़ा सा चेंज होता है, पर थोड़ा आप आइडिया दे सकते हैं सर वो क्या चेंज है, क्या देखना चाह रहे हो आप?
बिल्कुल। देखो शुभम, जैसा मैंने बताया, रिपीटर नोज द होल प्रोसेस एंड ही हैज well prepared, he has trained himself so well. Imagine to judge his personality becomes a bit challenging even for a assessor, even for an experienced assessor, because he's virtually mucked up all those questions. Now how does he do it? And let me tell you, we have ways and means to do it. So we will, that's the reason for repeaters, the CIQs which we ask are not administered in the same fashion as we do it with the freshers. So it has to be little different, but as I told you, overall judging of the personality, the pattern of the system interview process remains the same. It is just the experience of the interviewing officer, how he handles the repeater. A eighth time repeater may be handled in a different manner. A second time repeater may be handled in a different manner. It is just by administering those questions in little different manner, changing the sequence, and not asking the questions which the candidate is expecting. So a fresher is asked generally in a very natural manner, but a repeater, depending on the interviewing officer and the candidate's responses, his probing pattern. Probing is very important. Probing pattern will be different. Okay, I will tell you later why the probing pattern, what does it signify, and all that. Okay.
ओके सर श्योरली, बट मैं यहाँ पर एक और चीज लेकर आता हूँ। हम डिफेंस एस्पिरेंट ये मानते हैं फ्रेशर इज बीइंग अ फ्रेशर इज अ गोल्डन चांस, तो ये बात क्यों है ऐसी, फ्रेशर इज अ गोल्डन, या क्या सच सच बात है सर ये?
And let me tell you, Shubham, I myself tell a lot of candidates who are going for the first time, please avail this first chance, put in your best, because this is a golden chance. Simple. Why it is a golden chance? And some of them, they miss this golden chance simply because when they go for the SSB, they go completely unprepared. Neither they have prepared their knowledge, they are aware of the process, neither they know what is the story writing, nor they know what is the GTO task. They are not clear about the stage one. Obviously, these candidates, because of the non-preparation, may have been capable, let me tell you, may have been capable, but they get screened out. I have seen a number of good candidates getting screened out. So that's the reason these candidates must ensure that when they go first time for the SSB, they should at least know what is expected there and what is the SSB is expecting of them. What is this all selection system about? At least this much they are supposed to know. Yeah? Let me tell you, people may say anything, but it's a 5-day process which is most difficult in the country. Let me tell you, it is not that easy to crack the SSB. So if they go for this kind of interview, just unprepared, and just like that as a passenger, obviously they will get screened out.
आई कम्प्लीटली एग्री विद यू सर, बट मेरा अभी सवाल थोड़ा सा आंसर थोड़ा छुप गया है सर। मेरा सवाल ये था कि फ्रेशर का वो गोल्डन चांस क्यों है? नॉलेज उसने ले ली, बट स्टिल वो गोल्डन चांस क्यों है? क्यों रिपीटर जैसा चांस नहीं है वो?
The fresher, you should understand that. When a fresher is going, the fresher, he is going for the first time for the SSB.
Yes,
The
sir.
first time he is facing the SSB, he is completely new with the fresher, and he is, he has got no confusion in his mind, and the process which he is going to face, he is basically an original candidate. Understand, the original candidate means he is not, a kind of put on behavior or a kind of preparation which the repeaters do, and his natural personality may not come out. So that's the reason a repeater, that's the reason a repeater's personality, because the way he has posed himself, the way he's prepared himself, over preparation, etc., may not really.
Okay, because fresher do not have a preconceived mind over there, where our repeater have a preconceived mind. Okay, I got your point over here, sir. Let me deep in. Now there's something called provoking. You have pointed out for the repeaters that in personal interview, the repeaters were provoked during CIQ or CIQ format is changed. Then what is exactly, sir?
Shubham, let me tell you, a repeater is handled in a slightly different manner by the experienced interviewing officer. The reason being simple, a chap who has been to the SSB 5 or 10 times, who knows the system so well, and if you ask him the same question in a similar fashion, what will happen? He will remain in comfort zone. His real personality will not come out. And he will give the answers which he has already prepared. Because we also know the candidate has prepared well, he has been trained, he has been coached. Now, here, what we do, we probe him and we question him in a different manner. It is the interviewing officer who will get him out of his comfort zone so that his natural personality, his actual subconscious mind, or his real personality comes out. His actual behavior comes out. Is he the way he's trying to put on that kind of behavior? Is it the real or he's putting on some kind of mask? And this can be done by good probing questions and changing the order of questions in a different manner. Yeah.
ओके सर, आपने इतना मतलब ये तो सर थियोरेटिकल बात हो गई जो आपने बोली, क्या आप कोई एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं यहाँ पर?
Subham, let me tell you, for a repeater, what we will do, not only will put him in the slightly uncomfortable position, we will also give him some kind of situation, which will be a real life situation. Now he can't run away from that. And a real life situation, whether if he talks about organizing something, we'll tell him to organize something, or we'll give him some challenging situation. How does he handle it? So his personality comes out. Whether does he go in detail or not, his reasoning ability comes out, his practical intelligence comes out, his daring nature comes out, his determination comes out by those situations. That's the reason you'll find most of the repeaters are usually administered some kind of situation so that we understand his real personality.
ओके सर, ये सब ठीक है, मैं आपकी सारी बात मान गया, आप रिपीटर्स को कैसे जज करते हैं, बट ना चाहे फ्रेशर हो चाहे रिपीटर हो, एक बात ना नोटिस की गई है, अगर इंटरव्यू सब अच्छा जा रहा है, वो सब सवालों के जवाब देता जा रहा है, सडनली आप कुछ ऐसा सवाल ले आएंगे जिसको आपको कॉन्फिडेंस होता है कि वो उसमें लुढ़केगा, उसकी क्या वजह है सर?
Very rightly brought out my dear friend Shubham. And even a good candidate, let me tell you, is put under pressure because we as an assessor has to know whether this man, if put under pressure, can still function. Does his brain work? Does he behave in a similar manner? So sometimes a good candidate who's doing exceedingly well, let me tell you, to try him out, to further confirm his selection, will put him under intense pressure also. And we'll see his behavior. So I will, through you, I can tell all those guys who are going for the interview, if you are being put under pressure, it means you are doing reasonably well. Like in the GTO task, you have the command task. But he will not get a similar command task. The chap who's doing very well will get the degree of difficulty in that command task will be more. A chap who is not doing so well, the degree of difficulty in the command task will be less. It is the same formula is in the interview.
Okay, now sir, you have clear biggest myths and biggest doubt. I think this is the golden words of entire interview. Thank you so much. Now I'd like to move to the stage 2. Okay, before moving to stage 2, sir, that's the reason you put the two different slot. Means freshers के लिए different online Skype interview का slot है and जो repeaters हैं उनके लिए different slot है जिसमें आप दोनों को अलग-अलग तरह से तैयारी कराते हैं. यही एक reason है सर.
Yes, Shubham, that's the reason. You correctly mentioned in our SSB. What we do when we train here, all the candidates are sitting and tell them exactly, suppose a fresh candidate comes, the way the interview is supposed to be taken in the SSB, the first method is we apply that for a fresh candidate.
Okay.
Imagine now, just you have also faced the SSB. Imagine now a chap who comes fifth time repeater, and here the interviewing officer asking him the same questions in a similar fashion. There will be a difference. And the repeater, as I told you, he knows the system very well. Okay, he's quite accustomed to it. The same kind of questions, CIQs, because we have a semi-structured interview. You should understand that. What is a semi-structured interview? where the questions which the interviewing officer are going to ask are more or less decided. The first question, that rapid fire question will be about yourself, your education. What is the second question? You know all this. So if you do the same thing for a repeater time and time and again, he will also think that it is the process which he has seen so many times. And how does this process judge him? It depends on the technique, expertise of the interviewing officer.
मैं आपकी बात सब समझ गया। मतलब अगर रिपीटर को ऐसे नहीं चेंज किया और प्रोवोक नहीं किया तो सिस्टम को ही बाईपास कर देगा, क्योंकि उसके लिए हमेशा सेम चीज आ जाएगी, वरना फ्रेशर के लिए भी वही, रिपीटर के लिए भी वही। आई गॉट योर पॉइंट सर। दैट्स व्हाई द एसएसबी वाज नेवर बी हैंड, मतलब क्राफ्टेड नहीं कर पाया कोई उसे। दैट्स रियली गुड सर, एंड थैंक यू फॉर सच अ वंडरफुल सिस्टम। सर यहाँ से थोड़ा और आगे बढ़ते हैं। अब मैं चलना चाहूंगा साइक टेस्ट की तरफ। साइक टेस्ट में हमारे व्यूअर्स अभी एक फोटो देख पा रहे हैं। उस फोटो में एक्सीडेंट हुआ है जिसमें कार के सामने एक लड़का गिर गया है। अब यहाँ पर समझ में आता है कि होने क्या वाला है, या तो कोई थर्ड पर्सन आके बचाएगा, या वो जो ड्राइवर है वही ब्रेक मार देगा और एक्शन उसके अराउंड चलेगा, उसको फर्स्ट एड दी जाएगी आसपास के शॉप से और उसको फिर बचाया जाएगा। बड़ा ही सिंपल है। पर अभी सेकंड पिक्चर में हमारे व्यूअर्स देख पा रहे हैं, दो पिक्चर्स राइट नाउ। दोनों पिक्चर देख के ही दिमाग ब्लैंक हो जाता है। पहली पिक्चर देखी जाए तो एक इंसान का फेस मैग्नीफाइंग मतलब जूम करके दिखाई दे जा रहा है और उसके पीछे दो आदमी दिख रहे हैं। हवलदार के रैंक के होंगे करीबन, क्योंकि वो उस रैंक के दिख रहे हैं। और जो सामने इंसान मैग्नीफाइंग फॉर्म में दिख रहा है, जूम फॉर्मेट में दिख रहा है, उसके यहाँ पर स्ट्रिप है कंधों पे। इसका मतलब वो भी सर्विस वाला ही पर्सन है। बट उसके चेहरे के एक्सप्रेशन देखें तो थिंक कर रहा है। बट इतना सब कुछ जानने के बावजूद भी आइडिया प्रोवोक नहीं होता है सर। what to do, sir?
Subham, let me tell you, the TAT process has been absolutely made very difficult through different sources, and the candidates are actually confused. In SSB Short Academy, we have absolutely simplified it. In the sense, a candidate has to be told, it is a simple picture which is given, which is a kind of stimulus, and in that the candidate has to write a story, as simple as that. Now, how to write the story? You should just tell this to the candidate. The candidate has to first think, which maximum candidates do the mistake, is observation of the picture. Are they able to observe the picture in 30 seconds? You simply tell them this. The second thing, they should know what's happening in the picture. Usually people tell them, you should now think what has led to the situation. That is the second stage, second step. Till the time you know what is happening in the picture, as you said, the policeman is sitting there. You should know what is happening. There are two people outside. One person is there. Now you know what is happening in the picture. And then you can think what could have led to the situation. This is the way. What could have led to the situation?
Okay.
And yes, and after that is what is likely to happen with a solution. This word we have added in SSB Short Academy. With a solution, because as an officer, you have to be solution oriented. And if he tries to find out the solution, what happens? A candidate, doesn't have to become very positive, doesn't have to show his positive approach. He has to be natural. But when he is writing the story now, slight change. Now he will start the way he introduces the hero, and he will write what has led to the situation, what is happening now, and what is the thing. This is a different way when he writes it down. But when he thinks, analyzes it, he must think what is happening. If all the things will fall in place, if he knows what is happening, after that anybody can make a story. Yeah? You have to just, a neutral picture, even they can make a story on that. If they just analyze what is this happening. So the candidates have to be told in this manner. I am telling you, I bet on this. All the candidates who come to SSB Short Academy, I make them do 5 sets. And people may say whether they have to practice or not, but after that they understand their imagination. What is this test about? It is your imagination. Your imagination improves by practice. What is your subconscious? Your subconscious learns only 2 languages, the language of repetition and the language of practice. This is psychologist is saying this. So you have to practice this. But unfortunately, people are guided that, you should not practice this. And that's what happens the first time candidate goes in the very first test, because he's not able to write a relevant story. So Shubham, it's not that complicated as it has been made out. Okay?
ओके सर, आई गॉट इट। अब मैं थोड़ा डिग इन करना चाहूंगा। जब आपके ऑनलाइन कोर्स साइट टेस्ट में कोई एनरोल होता है, तो उसको प्रिविलेज ये मिलता है, वो डायरेक्टली आप मतलब आप डायरेक्टली उसकी स्टोरी चेक करते हैं। इज इट राइट सर?
Subham, in the online test, we do the online testing of numerous candidates. They sent their test to us, you know, and some of them may have taken the interview, some of them they directly come for a psychological test. I personally check it, and if need be, a second opinion can be taken because we have a psychologist on board. So it's like that, and there is a third person also who's equally good. So it's like that. Sometimes I lack the, suppose I'm pretty busy, the story will go to the psychologist and comes to me. And when I debrief him, because it is just to save the time, so that he does the proper analysis and I thereafter say, and the candidate is now briefed thereafter. But most of the cases, whenever I'm absolutely free, I personally check those stories, analyze them, and give a feedback to the fullest satisfaction of the candidate.
So what a privilege. The rank of a general who is a board president is checking my story and giving me feedback.
Subham, for that, let me tell you this. SSB Short Academy is my passion. Training the youth and guiding them properly is a passion. You know, I had two aims in my life, to become an armed forces officer or to become a teacher. So what? I don't find it is anything degrading at all. Can you believe, Shubham? I enjoy it. I enjoy it. Okay? It
Okay.
is simply that. And this is, secondly, this is the area of my interest. I love it, by the way. Yeah.
ओके सर, यहाँ पर मैं हम दूसरे पिक्चर के बारे में जरूर बात करेंगे, जिससे थोड़ा एक आइडिया दोबारा मिल जाए। दूसरे पिक्चर हम क्या देख पा रहे हैं? एक लड़का है, उसने पैंट शर्ट पहनी है, आंधी तूफान है, पेड़ हिल रहे हैं और गांव का सीन है। नाउ दिस इज वेरी ऑब्जर्वेंट। अगर मैं हिसाब लगाऊं तो मुझे समझ में आता है कि वो जरूरी काम के लिए ही जा रहा होगा, क्योंकि आंधी तूफान में ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता इंसान चलो आज घूमने चलते हैं, आंधी तूफान आ रहा है। तो दैट मीन्स ही इज एन इमरजेंसी सीन। एम आई राइट सर?
You are 100%, but Shubham, you'll be surprised. This is where the candidates do the mistakes. You know, that's why I said their observation part is wrong. They do not understand what's happening. That's the reason I always lay emphasis on what's happening. If they can analyze it as you have analyzed correctly, that yeah, ye tufan aa raha hai, yaar, there is an emergency, this man is still going. So their theme will become correct. But unfortunately, people make a story, oh my God, on that, they make different stories. They forget the bloody storm. They forget about the emergency. They are writing, this chap is appearing for exams today, he's coming back, his paper was not good, or something they will write, or he is coming on leave to his village. They will forget the emergency, they will forget the storm. See, this their story will go on a tangent. Therefore, his observation, his imagination, he has failed both. Neither he has got the factor one. What is factor one? Your affective intelligence and your reasoning ability. You have not been able to observe the picture properly. You have not able to decipher that. So you have failed in your factor one. Similarly, you know, your imagination thereafter, building the right theme on the picture, you have not been able to do a good job of it. So therefore, for a candidate, please tell him to observe the picture properly, see that what is happening. If he is able to assess that, then he will be able to easily make out what could have led to this situation and what is likely to happen with a solution. And while he's writing, I will repeat it again, then he can frame his story, what could have led to the situation, what is happening, and what is likely to happen. As simple as that.
I must say those students who have contacted before or are going to contact it now is very privileged. I don't think so any person has get that much of clarity of that before this video. I'm damn sure. थैंक यू सो मच फॉर योर वर्ड्स अप। बट यहाँ पर मैं एक बात और लेना चाहूंगा, अभी एसएसबी की डेट्स नहीं आई हैं, तो स्टूडेंट्स आर नॉट प्रिपेयरिंग देमसेल्फ। अगर आप देखें, आर्मी की बात करना चाहूँ, मैं आर्मी का एग्जांपल लेना चाहूंगा, क्या आर्मी भी अपने आप को तैयार नहीं करती अगर वॉर नहीं है सर?
Subham, army is always ready, 24 hours ready. And unfortunately, if you read the history, whenever we were not ready, and what has happened, I don't want to elaborate it. You know the 1962 war. You know the famous battles which India has fought. Why India was subjugated for 800 years? It is because of the lack of preparedness. You see this, we lost the 1962 war because of our unpreparedness. And see this, how well prepared we were in 1971, the greatest war India ever fought in its history. We defeated Pakistan, created a new nation. Why? because soldiers were ready, armed forces were ready. Therefore, remember, Shubham, armed forces in its being just there is a force, is a provide the security to the nation. Otherwise, this kind of security where the nation can thereafter progress and go into its priorities will not be possible. Look at today. See the situation today. China is trying to sort of bulldoze his way. Was he able to do it?
No.
Why he was not able to do it? It's because we are ready. Armed forces, he's thinking that we are still in the 62 mindset. No. So it's because of preparedness of armed forces. It should be always there ready, whether it's peace or it's war.
बट सर स्टूडेंट्स तो सोच रहे हैं कि डेट्स आएंगी तब प्रिपरेशन शुरू करेंगे, आप उनके लिए क्या कहना चाहोगे? तो 62 वाली वॉर वाला हाल कर रहे हैं कि चलो जब वॉर आएगी तब तैयारी करेंगे हम.
This is the biggest mistake of the students. And let me tell you this. As I mentioned, students should realize they are going to face the toughest examination of their life. Toughest examination. And people say the SSB, you should just go original without any preparation. And such people will come back original only. They will not get selected. Therefore, on this tough examination, they have to prepare. Yeah. They can keep themselves abreast of the latest. They can prepare their journal awareness. They can read more books, enhance their knowledge. They can improve their communication skills, which is so important. They can practice, which you just mentioned, TAT stories, WAT, this thing, improve their imagination. They can understand what happens in the SSB. The entire process, they can get some idea of the GTO task. There is so much of knowledge in the online. Why go far? There are 150 videos of SSB Short Academy itself. So they have so much great opportunity, which frankly speaking, we did not have when we appeared for.
That's true. That's true. I agree, sir.
So they should prepare. And for them, I don't want to tell you till the time you ask me, we have thought about this, how the students can be facilitated. I told you this is my passion and we have made a plan for it. And my students know what is that plan. And that's the reason all our online classes are nearly full. Yeah.
सर मैं आखिरी सवाल पूछना चाहूंगा. मैंने सुना है, क्योंकि मेरे पास टेलीग्राम ग्रुप है, इंस्टाग्राम है, मेरा खुद का यूट्यूब चैनल है, तो मुझे सुनने में आता है आपके बारे में कि जो आपका ऑनलाइन स्काइप इंटरव्यू है उसमें जितना लंबा आप इंटरव्यू लेते हैं उतना ही लंबा फीडबैक देते हैं स्टूडेंट्स को.
Shubham, because I do it as a passion. See this, my interview, can you believe it, sometimes go nearly 1.5 hours, another half an hour minimum feedback. If you do not give the feedback, then the students, why do you think there is such a lineup of interviews with me? It's because of this feedback. And let me tell you, Shubham, any candidate who is not sure of himself, who's got slight confusion in his mind, and who doesn't know his blind spot. What is blind spot? If you know the theory, psychological theory, there is something called arena and something called your blind spot. Something is your unknown part, something is your known part. That blind spot means which a candidate doesn't know about himself. He's not sure. So that is what I am able to find out, because in any case, the interviewing officer is going to find out. And I tell him, you got to work on these areas. And here in my mock interview, can you believe it? The selection rate is just 5 to 6% people pass. I tell them very frankly, you have failed. I tell them, all the people who are interviewed by me, I will tell them exact marks where you stand and where you have to work. Very rarely people pass in my interview. Today, there was a chap I interviewed at 9 o'clock in the morning. Today he passed. I was telling him, you are the 17th, after 16 interviews, you are the first one who has passed. He clearly passed. So it's like that.
And sir, thank you so much for valuable time. आपने इतना समय दिया. And I wish कि दोबारा एक बार और मुलाकात हो सर.
Thank you. Will be a pleasure anytime, which enhances the knowledge and which enhances the preparedness of our candidates. I am always available. Anytime.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. जय हिंद सर.
Jai Hind.
अभी आपने मेजर जनरल बाकुनी सर के वर्ड सुने, एंड आई एम श्योर ऑलवेज यू फील एनलाइटन. पर क्या आपने उनकी ये वाली वीडियो देखी है? इसका लिंक आपको डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में मिलेगा, यहाँ पर चौथे नंबर पर. इसके ऊपर आपको 3 लिंक भी मिलेंगे. उसमें तीनों लिंक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट है. पहला है फ्रेशर, दूसरा रिपीटर एंड तीसरा है ऑनलाइन साइक टेस्ट असेसमेंट का. मेजर जनरल बाकुनी से इस बात का बहुत ज्यादा ध्यान रखते हैं कि जो फ्रेशर का इंटरव्यू होता है वो गोल्डन चांस होता है, तो यहाँ पर उसको वैसे ही ट्रीटमेंट मिले, पर रिपीटर का कहीं ना कहीं एक डिफरेंस आ जाता है और कहीं ना एक टफनेस लेवल थोड़ी बढ़ जाती है, तो वो उनका अलग से इंटरव्यू लेते हैं। तो इन दोनों लिंक पे आप क्लिक करके इस बात की मेक श्योरिटी कर सकते हैं कि आप जो तैयारी करें उसी लेवल की करें। एंड एक बात याद रखो कि आप फेल हो गए प्रैक्टिस में तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं होती, बट आप रियल वॉर में फेल हो गए तो दिक्कत है। जो आप मेजर जनरल बाहुनी सर को अपना मॉक इंटरव्यू दोगे वहां पर फेल हुए कोई दिक्कत की बात नहीं है, एसएसबी में थोड़ी ना फेल हुए हो, यहाँ पर तो जनरल साहब आपको खुद ही करेक्ट कर देंगे कि यहाँ पर आप गलत हैं, आप इस बात पे ध्यान दें, यहाँ इंप्रूवमेंट करें। तो आप अपनी एसएसबी से पहले ही अपनी गलतियों को सुधार लोगे और ये बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है। तो यहाँ पर इस बात को आपको नोट करना है कि फ्रेशर का और रिपीटर का दोनों का लिंक अलग अलग है। इन दोनों पे आप क्लिक करें और इसमें एनरोल हो, जिससे आप अपनी एसएसबी में गलती ना करें और ये एसएसबी आपकी रिकमेंडेशन वाली एसएसबी हो। जैसे ही आप इस पे क्लिक करेंगे ऐड टू कार्ट पर, यहाँ पर आपको ऑप्शन आएगा अप्लाई में प्रोमो का, तो आप एसएसबी डालना वहां पर, और जैसे ही आप एसएसबी डालोगे तो एसएसबी शॉर्ट को पता लग जाएगा कि यार इस इंसान को की एसएसबी जो है वो अर्जेंट है, वो आने वाली है। तो आप यहाँ पर जैसे ही आप क्लिक करोगे तो यहाँ पर ₹0 आ जाएगा। इसका मतलब ये है कि जो कोड है वो लग चुका है, एसएसबी शॉर्ट को पता लग गया कि आपकी एसएसबी अर्जेंट है और उसको प्रायर बेसिस पे रखना होगा। तो वो आपका मॉक इंटरव्यू प्रायर बेसिस पे रखेंगे और सेम केस होगा ऑनलाइन सेक टेस्ट के लिए। ठीक है, तो इन 3 लिंक का आप ध्यान रखें, इसको एनरोल होना ना भूलें, क्योंकि इफ यू फेल इन प्रैक्टिस नो प्रॉब्लम, बट यू फेल इन रियल वॉर इट्स अ प्रॉब्लम। सो बेटर टू प्रैक्टिस राइट नाउ, क्योंकि हो सकता है आप में से कुछ होगी तो एसएसबी ये आखिरी हो, तो बेहतर है फेल ना हो। मैं लेता हूं आपसे विदा, जय हिंद। मैं उनको रोज सोचता हूँ, मैं उनको रोज सोचता